So I'm not wearing the same outfit as Monday. We're recording 2 episodes in one day, and because it's then video, you get what you get. However, I also decided it was wear the shirt of the local band you like. This is my friend Walt Hamburger. Do you love his like Wendy's looking design?
I love that shirt. I have heard him. He's amazing.
He's really good. And so I feel like I need him to get like women's things where it doesn't touch my neck so much because that stresses me out. But here's the deal. Like he's a really great musician and I feel really bad for all the local artists. I love live music and I know you do too.
I do too. Yep. And we are so rich in the Fox Valley with so many great musicians.
Right. But what I feel really badly about is like their whole livelihood just got ripped away. Like I know
Walt did
cancel his entire year and he was supposed to tour in Europe and like had all these great plans. And then all of your income dries up. What do you do? So I was like, I'll buy a t-shirt. Like that's what you can do. I mean, people have been doing online performances and like whatever.
Yes, I know. I feel so bad for my musician friends because they just can't do the things that they want to do. I love that they're putting concerts and music out online for people to stay engaged. But I mean, my big thing is like the second that we can go to concerts safely, like I am like dying to get to some.
Same. I just want live music. Like we play stuff on our little Amazon device. I'm not going to say her name because she'll start talking to me. But there was an artist that you and Crystal told me about that was like on the college scene. What was his name?
Pat McCurdy.
Okay, well, we started an online concert of his, and thank God the kids had earbuds on because they were like on their screens, and we were like, this is not child appropriate.
Oh, no.
I was texting with Crystal, and I was like, did he just say what I think he said? And she was like, yeah, I forgot. It's been a long time since I listened. You probably shouldn't have to stop with the kids. I was like, we have to turn it off.
Right. And that's why it was so funny to listen to him. Like he was big in the 90s in the college scene. I think that's where he like cut his teeth. And now like we're all having kids.
Right. There's a lot of things like this where like Bill and I watched the Goonies with the kids and we thought that was going to be awesome. And then there's a lot of swearing. And are they in an abandoned building? Is that a dead body? And I'm like, oh God, like, this is terrible.
You know what? When I was a kid and watched that movie, I was probably Ian's age, and I don't know that I ever like connected any of the dots.
Michelle,
I just thought it was like a big adventure movie. I think I forgot most of the swears in it and everything.
Right. I've been threatening to parent like 80s parents where I just lock them outside and don't let them in till dinner because like I can't take it anymore. But real scenario. So
sure.
So now we've been trying to go through the archives and think, what can we watch for the kids that's entertaining but safe and not going to like, demerits as parents.
Right.
We're winning.
It's hard because even the things from the 80s, I mean, they're awesome, but they're also like, oh, wow. Is that really what we were doing?
Let them watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and like literally not very far in, we were like, we are all losing brain cells. Like this is so bad.
Well, I mean, it is Bill and Ted.
Love it. They love it. So like, I can't. I'm also obsessed with UHF. Which I don't remember when that came out, but like they love UHF. They love it. They think Weird Al is like the best.
A lot of kids do.
We saw him in concert in Milwaukee, and they were like, "This is the best part of our life ever." What else are we obsessed with right now? That's killing me. It's like not even like none of the. Oh, Napoleon Dynamite. They love.
Napoleon Dynamite. I love Napoleon Dynamite too.
I mean, same, but like, this is where I'm feeling like maybe the parenting wheels are falling off. It's fine.
No, I think that it's. I mean, it's a good movie, and there's like angsty stuff about high school in there. I mean, so to bribe me as a kid, to watch my brothers and sisters sometimes, I was in 9th grade and my dad knew that St. Elmo's Fire was one of my favorite movies. It had an R rating.
Right.
A lot of like drugs and adults like
I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of things I didn't see. I just watched Seeing Candles for the first time like 2 years ago with Aaliyah and my friend Crystal. And I was like, Leah goes, there's movies. And I was like, oh, yep, there are.
And so my mom and dad would rent that for me to like bribe me into like helping them out once in a while.
Think about it. They were getting a babysitter for $3 and like you're winning.
So, I guess, but I would like also like, good thing my parents, as I got older, I'm like, good thing my parents maybe never watched that movie. Maybe my dad did, but I know my mom didn't. And thank God, because I don't know that I would have been allowed to watch it had they like paid 2 seconds to it. They just like, we want a babysitter. We're going to do it. We'll get you that. We'll get you Breakfast Club, whatever you want.
Right.
Like, give us the list of movies. We'll see what we can get for you. And will you watch your siblings for a little bit?
Right. I just asked Bill to do the Breakfast Club and he was like, no.
And a couple more years. Let them both be like in the teenage years. It's a good movie. I wrote a couple of papers on it in grad school.
Oh my God, I love it. That's so fun. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
We're not talking about movies today. What are we talking about? Quizzing?
We're just kind of doing a little bit of a get to know you. We feel as, you know, we're like 11 episodes in now.
This is going to be 12. Yeah.
Okay, so it's time to maybe just do a little bit of a reacquaint. We kind of think that it's important every so often. We're going to try to find fun ways to do it. And we just kind of picked some stuff that's going around Instagram. Thought we would.
So I'm just to be real honest. I don't even know what you're asking me. If you sent it to me in advance, I did not pay attention to it because I was trying to get my kids to sweep the floor and I was failing and I didn't see what you said.
Okay, good. Well, it's just
on the spot.
It's just some fun Q&A. I haven't really paid attention to it either. It's kind of one of those, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Yeah. So what is an ideal life for you?
My life before quarantine.
Yeah, same.
I mean, okay, so I have said frequently, so my husband is my favorite person on the planet. Like, I just love him. And I have said frequently that all I really want in the world is to spend as much time with him as humanly possible, like all the time. I did not mean in a pandemic, however.
Right.
So, I mean, like, I guess I would like to have financial freedom, do all the things that make me happy, have as much bill time as possible, and not have to compete for his time with my children, because that's what's happening right now.
Right. I think for me, I think it's similar. I just, you know, being able to go places with people.
Right.
That's kind of ideal. Again, financial independence and freedom. I'm working towards that goal.
Yeah.
You know, just diversifying revenue streams.
Oh man, and some travel, like
travel is ideal for me. I'm not going to do well this year without any travel in my life. But I think that, you know, last year I had so much, I was very fortunate. So maybe this year is the year that I rebound from that. And then 2021 is the go big or go home travel year.
Maybe that's what's going to happen, because I did the same thing. Last year I traveled every single month. I was someplace for like a long weekend or a week at least. And I loved it. But then I think I hit like November and December, and like we still traveled then, but like I hit a wall, because frequently I was traveling without my people, and I loved it. I was without my people. So it's okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Your ideal life everybody in quarantine's been like dreaming of like, what's ideal, whatever. And I'm like real sick of it, because like I already planned this out. I just
you already had it. Like, let's just go, you know, let's just bring it back.
Right. And I don't think that's going to happen. Like, it's not going to be normal for a while yet. So I'm just going to keep dreaming of like, you know, 2019. I didn't know how good it was.
None of us did, but that's, you know, that's a great that's a great thing for life too. The way that you measure it is, you know, just make the most of what you got, and always dream bigger and better, right?
There was a moment, I think, toward the end of The Office where, because we just finished that entire, like, season, all of it, and I loved it. But like toward the very end, Andy was like, I wish you had an idea of when were the best parts of your life so that you could really enjoy them while you're in the moment. Right. Like, they always say like the best times of your life or whatever, and like the best is yet to come, but sometimes you're literally living in the best right now, and you don't know.
You don't know it.
Right.
No, because that's the middle. You know, beginnings are scary and endings are sad, but the middle is where you do the living, and you don't really realize that until you're at a beginning or an end.
Totally true. We're gonna have a kid. Are you literally doing this right now when I said I was recording? And you're coming in and getting water?
Yep.
Thank God Michelle's a good editor. Go outside, please, until I tell you can come back in. Okay, but we're literally recording right now, so I need you to leave and stop wearing Ian's 80s sunglasses.
Okay. So what makes you feel accomplished?
Okay, second question is what makes you feel accomplished? Okay, so we did this early on. I did the done list and I was like, this is really great. I'm a goal setter though. So other than the done list, I like to like set something and be like, I want to do this. And I don't even know if I like achieving the goal as much as I like working towards the goal. So what makes me feel accomplished, I think, is the journey on the way to doing something super cool.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't know. Most days I feel accomplished if I've gotten myself out of bed and done like the major things for the day. It's hard for me to talk what feels accomplished because anything that requires planning 3 months out or more is scary for me to do because I haven't really set goals in like 3.5 years.
Well, also I think like beyond that, because I think that's hard. Like, you're looking ahead. Quarantine, like, how do you know that you accomplished something and you're proud of yourself is different than like regular. Like we make a day and there's not a lot of yelling and screaming and like I can sleep at night and we're proud of each other. Like that feels like a really good day. But that's a way low bar.
That's a way low. Yeah. I think for me post quarantine, I'm going to start working on goals again. But right now it's just, it's too hard for me to start working on like goals yet. Plus I don't know. I like looking at shorter term goals. They seem more achievable to me than 6 months to a year goals because
I think most people have stamina to go that long if you really are honest about it. I mean, think about everybody who starts a workout routine or whatever, like all the New Year's resolutions. When are they done? January, February? Because like too long of a goal, it's really hard. Like I kind of feel like you need like, what did we do this week? And how did we get through this week? And are we proud or do we need to make changes next week? Like keep it incremental in a time period that's fine because the long way out, like actually, so I read this really fascinating book called The 12-Week Year. Yeah. And it talks about taking your annual goals and breaking them down into like making it 12-week goals instead. So you actually get
I like that
in a year. If you have like a year to accomplish something, you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. You lose some time. It's not a big deal. But if you condense that to 12 weeks and you lose a day, like a day out of 12 weeks is a bigger deal than a day out of a year.
Yeah.
So I think the long-term stuff is hard. I just think the shorter is better.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to try to keep working on the short term and go from there. But accomplished, just what makes me feel accomplished mostly is just getting through a day where I know that at the end of it, I can say that I was a kind person and I gave 100% to anything that I was doing.
I think that's adorable. When we're done, I'm going to buy some shoes. I'm going to feel really accomplished when I'm done with that.
That's awesome. Are you a religious person or a spiritual person?
Oh, well, this could be, so I don't want to get in trouble for this, but I'm not a religious person at all. But I feel like I'm down with like the spiritual side of things. Like I believe in like humanity. I think we all want to do the right thing. I think we're inherently good people. And I think that like, there's something about like that spirit and like that aspect of things, but I also don't know. I don't know. Where do you land on that?
I was religious. And then the last 3 years I haven't. I've decided I'm more of a spiritual person. I do believe in a bigger, greater thing. I just don't know right now that religious is something I can say that I am. I think that I'm still mad at some of the beings that exist in the world, just because of things and forces of nature. So
I feel like you got really cheated out of like a chunk of your life that you were looking forward to, and it's super hard to feel. Yeah, it's hard.
But I believe that there's a spiritual being, and I believe that there are things I believe, and I mean I believe that I'm still here to be able to do things, and so there's gratitude for that, but it's hard to find the right what I believe in, how it's written. So I'm kind of cobbling my own spirituality together in a bigger picture.
I think it's really common with a lot of people. I mean, I think that
I think it is.
like fellowship and stuff. I struggle with it. I struggle with the belief system in a lot of different things. And I have tons of friends in different religions. I grew up with tons of different like Christian religion friends, from Catholics to Lutherans to all over. And like, there's a lot of differences there. I had tons of Jewish friends growing up, and they were wonderful. And I had a friend whose dad was a Buddhist monk. And like, and as an adult, I have a lot of friends who are Muslim. So like, I love all of them equally. And I struggle with anybody's one religion being better or more important than others. But I totally love and respect people's like cultures and like the practices that they have with them. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I think that there's still value in that. And I think we're just a society that like bigger picture now. It's hard to put
valuable to me. Like, be a good human, be good to other people, like love other people. There's lots of really good teachings in religion. Like, I just don't follow any one in particular because I just feel like there's lots of good knowledge everywhere if you're open to it.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything that you'd like to change about yourself?
Well, I'd like my current health issues to be diagnosed. That would be fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I struggled for a long time with who I am, and I feel pretty damn good about it now. I mean, like anybody else, I'd like some abs that were visible and a little bit less fluff, but like, I don't know, my kids like the fluff. So, like, is that weird? Is that superficial?
No, because I'd change. I mean, if I could, sure, I'd love to be like 15, 20 pounds lighter.
Yes.
A little less in the midsection, but it is what it is. I also enjoy eating.
Same. I really just would prefer, like in priority, I'd rather eat all the things, and I'm not going to stress about 5 or 10 pounds.
I used to say that I'd love to change my voice, because the voice that I hear in my head is different than the voice and so when you hear yourself back, you think, people, this is what they listen to.
Right. I feel the same way.
But then, when you say that, people are like, well, no, but that's what makes you you. So, you don't want to change what makes you you. I've gotten pretty good at getting to a point where I appreciate the person that I am, but
maybe this comes with like age and wisdom. I don't know. Is there anything that you would change though? Do you think?
No, because I go cosmetically, and I think, well, I wouldn't want to do anything that would be noticeable. I feel like I enjoy my skin pretty well. I think that there's times that I get too caught up in my own head. And so if I could like change that overthinking part of my head a little bit, maybe that's something that I would do.
Right.
But that's just, anxiety and everything else plays into that. So, it's a bigger thing than just, change yourself from overthinking. It's part of who I am. So I don't know. I think to the point of,
because this is a really interesting question. Because you have the power to change an awful lot.
You do. But then really, if you think about it, what would you really want to change?
I mean, part of me feels like a thigh gap could be amazing, but would it change my life? Probably not.
No.
But what would it be like to have one? I don't even know.
And I am okay with never finding out.
You know what? I think that, what do they say? You're not going to drop your phone in your toilet? I don't know. There's all kinds of, probably benefits to this, but I can't think of anything that I really want to change, except I did go in a while ago for, what's that procedure where they freeze off your junk?
Oh.
Why can't I think of what it's called?
I don't know, because I've never known that this existed.
Oh, yeah, it's totally a thing. It's not cryotherapy, and that's all I'm thinking of.
Okay.
We'll have to cut this out. It really doesn't matter. Either way,
okay.
All the things I can think of that I would change would be cosmetic. And my husband likes me just how I am. Yeah. So I really feel like I have to be cool with it, because he's cool with it. And he's and I look fine. I feel like I live in Wisconsin, and I drink and eat like a Wisconsin girl, and I look all right. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Are there things you're afraid to do? I think I know the answer.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of too many things, but I'm terrified of heights. And you are like way brave in that space. You jumped off a cliff. So like
I did.
I mean, I might literally die before that happened.
I just had two options. You either jump or you don't. And I just decided in the moment, like no other women are jumping. I guess I'm just going to jump.
Did any other women jump after you? Did you start like a reaction?
I did not. I did not start a reaction.
And how did you feel after you jumped? Was it fine?
It felt amazing.
Okay.
It was one of those feelings like, oh my gosh, I would have regretted not doing this.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you had that feeling, because what if you jumped and you were still like, oh my gosh, could have died, still scared. Like, it's good that you had a great feeling after the fact.
I never thought that I could have died during it at all. I think that my sisters were kind of like, you did what?
Right.
And no one told you you couldn't? Like, well, no one was going to tell me that I couldn't or could at that moment. It was either I'm jumping or I'm not. And it was all me.
Well, I'm really proud of you for doing it. I think my big thing would be heights. I mean, every once in a while, I think there's people that like I'm nervous to like talk to and approach.
Sure.
But like, I don't really even care about that anymore. Like, I feel like it's really hard to like just be confident in my space. But like, I don't even care what's going on. I just think heights are like not my jam. I don't like to stand too close to the edge of anything. I don't like to be up too high without like space around me. And like restraints, harnesses, like seat belts. I'm a big fan of those.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really ever want to be in a Jeep without doors. Like, I think those are important. So.
Oh, I did that too in Colorado. I was in a thing without doors on it. Yeah.
Was it amazing?
It was awesome.
Okay.
It was like a 4x4. We took a trip all the way up to the top of a section of the Rocky Mountains. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What are you afraid of then? Like, you're not these things.
No, spiders. I cannot kill a spider to save my life. Like, I'm definitely afraid of spiders. I mean, there was a spider in my kitchen last night and it was up too high for me to kill. So I just decided, okay, you're just going to have to stay here tonight and hopefully you won't attack me in my sleep. Now, granted, it was like maybe this big, but at the same time, to me, it was like a tarantula. And I'm like, okay, you're just going to stay up top there. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see you. And that's just the way it is. And I didn't see it at all today, but I just can't, I'm definitely afraid of spiders.
Okay. I have a brother who's scared of spiders and another brother who's scared of snakes. And we grew up on a farm. So like, there's a lot of spiders. They're not my favorites, but like I can.
Yeah, they freak me out. They freak me out. Bats kind of freak me out too.
Oh yeah. My husband's afraid of bats. He had one land on his face one time though when he was sleeping. So like, I can kind of understand that fear.
I kind of understand.
I mean, can you imagine? That would be terrible. I'm not a big fan of ticks. I feel like anything like a bat with a tick on it would make it like 10 times worse.
Right. A spider with a tick. Oh, all of it. No, it's gross. Yeah. Do you believe in second chances?
I do. I do. Because, well, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to because everyone makes mistakes. And if you don't believe in them, I feel like put yourself in the position of you made a mistake. Would you want someone to give you a second chance?
Yes.
Most people would say yes. So I think you'd have to offer it.
Yeah. No, I believe in second chances too. I mean,
well,
as long as you're not repeating, my thing is like life is full of lessons, whether it's what do they call it, a mistake, a lesson, whatever. Life is full of all of them. And the only way you learn is by going through it and making those mistakes and learning those lessons. And as long as you're not repeating the same thing over and over and over again, then at least you're learning from it. And I mean, we're all on this planet and we're all trying to be the best person that we can. And if we don't give people the chance for growth, then really what are we doing?
Right. I think that's fair. I would say though, like you make too many mistakes of like, especially the same kind. And like, I'm only gonna have so much patience for you.
True. And I agree with that. But you know, like half of the battle is trying to get through some of it.
Now, so I mean, like it's fine.
Yeah. What are you most thankful for?
Bill, hands down. I mean, I was married previously and that was not a good fit. And I just feel like he's the source of everything good in my life. Like my confidence, my happiness, not like that lives in someone else, but like He's delightful in every possible way. And I feel like I'm most grateful and thankful for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom. I should probably say my kids, but it's really my husband.
It's fair.
What
It's
about
fair.
you?
Oh gosh. It's hard. I think that, I don't know, I'd probably say that I'm thankful for the 12 years of marriage that I had,
Mm-hmm.
or the almost 20 years that I got with someone that was pretty special in my life. I think that being with my husband taught me so many things about life and love, and made me realize that, like, to believe in things all over again, and that, had I not been where I was, I don't know that I could be doing any of the life that I have now. It's scary to lose someone that you love, and but at the same time, like, if I were to think about the things that, like, if something were to happen to, like, my house, or there'd be a fire or something like that, I think the only thing that I would probably grab are, like, a couple of prized possessions from that time, just because, that's the only thing that I would have to remind me of.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm just thankful that I'm thankful that I had a marriage. I'm thankful that I got to live my vows, and I'm thankful for anything that having that life has brought to my life now.
I think
Because
yeah.
I don't think that it would be here without that. And I mean, I just have this deep sense of believing that, life is meant to be lived, and that you can have multiple loves in your life. They just aren't always going to be the same. And so nothing will ever replace the love that he and I had, but I've got plenty of love to give to other people in different ways.
I think that's fair. And I feel like I don't know, I mean, had I not had a bad first experience, I wouldn't be as good this next round. And
Right.
Phil hates this conversation, hates it. But I'm always like, if anything happens to me, like, you need to get married again. You need to find a person. And he's like, we're not even having this conversation. Like, he hates it when you bring it up. But I mean, I think that's necessary. Like, I think that you should have people around you that make you happy. And
Exactly.
what was the actual question? Now I don't remember.
What are you most thankful for?
Yeah, it has to be Bill. I mean, I really like my shoe collection, but let's be real. It's less important in quarantine.
Yeah.
I only wore heels one time. My husband's way cute.
I'm thankful for people. You got to be thankful and grateful for the people that know and love you.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones that fill you up the most on the days that you need it. So.
Truth.
Yeah. My last question for you is, what made you change your mind?
What, like, and is there a scenario, or like just what would make you change your mind?
What made you change your mind?
I am always up for a good discussion. So, I mean, I feel like I've probably changed my mind often enough if someone makes a good argument. Do you have a good answer for this one? I'm processing this.
I don't know that I have a good answer, but I think death and loss made me change my mind on a lot of things about living life.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And so, like, pre losing my mom or Dave, I think I would have said, like, I wouldn't know what to do if people that I loved passed away. And afterwards, I'm like, okay.
Now you know.
Now I know that I can live and stuff. So, I mean, I think changing my mind, but I mean, I look at it a lot of ways. Like, what made me change my mind? The fact that I can do hard things, and it takes time and patience, but I can break tasks down into smaller things, and I can just do, and it's not going to be easy, but it's that, I don't know, that's gritty determination, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think that I had so many preconceived notions about death and loss before I lost anyone, that then through losing it, everything that I know changed. And I've got more people in my life now than I ever knew that I could imagine or need. And I've done things in my life that I never knew would be possible. I've dreamed bigger dreams than I ever thought that I could. And I've tried really hard stuff, and I'm here to talk about it. So I don't know. I don't know if that made me change my mind. It just showed me like a different way. And I think that made me just look at life in a completely different perspective.
I think that's awesome. I mean, I feel like I don't want to sound like I change my mind all the time, but like I frequently talk out loud and think out loud and process out loud. And I really like input and feedback from other people. And so my initial gut reaction on something might be swayed because often I don't consider all aspects of things. I mean, I tend to just respond quickly.
Right.
And sometimes my initial instinct is spot on. But if someone provides a really good argument or really good rationale or really good information, I want to listen to that. Like, I feel like the thing that bothers me the most about, like, especially right now, like quarterback and internet, where everybody's like, this is the thing. And like, you're not changing anyone's mind on the internet. But like, if you could have a conversation or like be open to new information, and let's be real, new information comes out all the time. So even if you have a preconceived notion of this is what I think about this,
right,
life circumstances, information, perspective change, it comes from all over the place. So
right,
I have found that I've grown when I'm more open to accepting different possibilities and realities and perspectives.
right.
And I admire people who do the same thing, because where are we? I mean, if you just stay stuck and stagnant in your views and you don't change, what's the point? Oh, did you just freeze? That's awkward. Are you back?
Oh, you froze during that whole thing you were saying.
You too. It was weird. I think you can cut it out. I don't even know. Did it work?
I don't know. Most of it did, but your last comment was completely frozen.
All right. Well, I said something, but your face was like. So I was like, I think she froze, or she's judging me. Either way.
I wasn't judging you. You froze. And I'm like, oh no, she froze. And I didn't know what to do.
I was like, I'm just going to keep going. And then I paused and I was like, are you there? Because I just figured we'll edit it later. We'll figure it out. Or we won't. This will be a blooper. And if you made it all the way to the end of this, good for you. This is what you got.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. This is great.
All right. Well, that's more about us. Hopefully people are cool with it. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to wrap it up. Good deal?
Good deal.
We'll post the questions. Answer the questions if you see them.